Hi guys, it's Craig Bader, Minnesota Realtor with Realtor 20 Questions, Buyer Edition, Volume 2. Question is, do I need an inspection? Short answer is yes. We always recommend an inspection. And in fact, anytime you buy a house in Minnesota anyway, you have to sign off on a disclosure stating that you understand you should have an inspection. And if you don't, things can go wrong and you'll have to live with it, and et cetera, et cetera. However, we're seeing a lot of offers come through waiving the inspection. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why you would do that, who's doing it, and what some of the consequences could be. All right. So I'm not going to get into detail about how the inspection works, but for now, the reason you would do it is simple. It just makes your offer stronger. So in a multiple offer situation, there's really only a few levers you can pull. If you're not going to have the highest price, you might still get the house if you waive the inspection. So the people that are doing it more often tend to actually be the more savvy buyers, investment buyers, and people that have done a lot of transactions. I actually bought an investment place just a couple months ago, and we waived the inspection mostly because I felt comfortable with it. The house is almost new. The outside was covered by the HOA. And I haven't owned it long enough to know if that was a mistake or not, but that's what we did. So if you're considering waiving the inspection, here's a few things to consider. One, how old is the place? So that's an easy one. The older the house is, if the major expense items, the roof, windows, siding, furnace, all those kind of things, if they're old, you're at a little more risk of more cost in the future. Two, what's your personal experience and comfort level with understanding all of the factors that go into whether a house needs to be inspected? And three, what kind of place is it? If, like I mentioned, if it's in an HOA, that reduces the number of things that you would have to personally pay for. Is it out in the country? Does it have a well, for example? Any of those things add complexity. And in most of those cases, if it's an older place, etc., you would definitely want to get an inspection. Another thing to consider is, instead of getting an inspection, you could have a second showing and maybe take an hour long and bring an inspector on that showing. And you'd probably have to pay him, but it would go a little faster and still reduce your risk. And he could point out the major things without doing an absolute full inspection. But those are kind of the main things that I would consider. Give me a call anytime if you have questions. And I hope to see you soon.